Some tactical gear looks so intense that most people assume it's completely banned or restricted in 2026. But the truth is, a surprising number of rugged military-style tools still exist in a legal gray zone, misunderstood, misjudged, and often mistaken for items no one's allowed to own. This video is 100% educational, showing how these serious-looking gadgets are regulated, why they confuse people, and what makes them so talked about. And trust me, when you see number 1, you'll understand exactly how misleading appearances can be. Let's get started. GERBER LMF2 Infantry Fixed Blade Knife. At first glance, the GERBER LMF2 looks like something that should never leave military hands. Thick spine, full tang construction, aggressive grip, and a sheath system that screams field ready. It was originally designed with infantry in mind, giving soldiers a durable tool for cutting, prying, or emergency braking. What surprises a lot of people is that in many places, a knife like this may still be legal to own under certain conditions, even though it looks like pure combat hardware. The blade's profile, the serrations, and the glassbreaker pommel all contribute to its intense aesthetic. To the average person, it feels like gear reserved for elite units only. Yet under the law, what often matters most is how it's carried, where it's used, and whether someone treats it as a responsible tool or something more reckless. SOG Seal 2000s. Fixed blade dagger, the SOG Seal 2000s. Looks like it steps straight out of a special operations loadout. Long symmetrical blade, dual edges, and a handle designed for grip in wet or muddy conditions. It's the kind of knife people imagine when they hear the words tactical dagger. Many viewers assume anything with this design is automatically banned everywhere, but the picture isn't that simple. Some regions restrict double-edged blades, others care more about length or how it's carried, and some focus on intent. To serious outdoors users, it can be a rugged cutting tool. To collectors, it's a piece of design history, but to someone who only sees its silhouette, it instantly reads as forbidden. That disconnect between perception and law is exactly why this dagger sits near the top of so many "this must be illegal" lists. BENCHMADE ADAMAS Folding Knife. The BENCHMADE ADAMAS folding knife doesn't try to hide what it is. It looks heavy-duty right away. Thick handle scales, solid locking mechanism, and a blade that feels overbuilt in all the right ways. It's a folder, but not the kind you casually toss into a pencil case. Many people see knives like this and assume they're banned purely because of how robust they look. Yet in many areas, folding knives with secure locks are treated differently than fixed blades, with specific size and carry limits. The ADAMAS is favored by enthusiasts for its strength and reliability, not just for any tactical label. Still, show it to someone who only knows pocket knives as slim gentleman folders, and they'll swear it belongs behind a glass case somewhere. It's a knife that proves legal and mild-looking are not always synonyms. KARAMBIT, USMC Fighting Utility Knife. Few blades are as iconic as the KARAMBIT USMC Fighter. Deep clip point profile, stacked handle, and a legacy tied directly to history. Because it carries that fighting label and military heritage, many assume it's automatically banned outside of official roles. In reality, it's often categorized like any other large fixed blade in many jurisdictions, subject to local size or carry rules. Collectors love it as a piece of history. Outdoors users treat it as a rugged utility knife. But the average viewer, seeing that silhouette and the USMC connection, immediately files it under probably illegal. It's the perfect example of how branding and reputation can overshadow the actual legal classification. To some, it's a relic. To others, it's the definition of a tactical blade. The truth lies in how and where it's carried. Pepper Projectile Launcher. Pepper projectile launchers look like compact tactical devices with a serious presence, pistol-style grip, barrel-like front end, and a design clearly meant for self-defense scenarios. Instead of traditional projectiles, they use irritant-based rounds or concentrated agents that create a defensive cloud. Many people assume anything shaped like a launcher is automatically treated the same as the most heavily regulated hardware. But in reality, pepper-based defense tools occupy a unique legal category that varies widely from place to place. Some regions allow them with age or storage rules, others regulate them heavily, and some ban them altogether. The confusion comes from appearance. The more a tool looks like a dedicated combat device, the more people instinctively think forbidden. Yet legally, these are frequently categorized as defensive tools rather than offensive weapons, even though they absolutely should be handled with respect and caution. Cold Steel Recon 1 Tactical Folder. The Cold Steel Recon 1 is one of those folding knives that doesn't try to look subtle. It's angular, aggressive, and unapologetically tactical in its styling. The blade is long enough to stand out, the handle is textured for a locked-in grip, and the lock mechanism is built to feel unyielding. Show it to someone who only knows slim office pocket knives, and their first reaction is often, "This has to be banned." But the Recon 1 is still a folding knife, and in many areas, folding knives fall under different rules than fixed blades, as long as they're carried within local regulations. Users appreciate it for durability and edge retention. Not just its intimidating look, still its name, its branding, and its sharp angles make it the perfect thought-this-was-illegal knife for people who only see it in dramatic online photos and thumbnails. Extreme Range Radar Detector. An extreme range radar detector is the kind of dashboard gadget that sounds like it must be outlawed everywhere, a device specifically engineered to detect certain enforcement signals from far away. Its display, antennas, and bold marketing language often emphasize sensitivity and reach. Because it seems tailored to stay ahead of speed monitoring, many assume it's universally banned. But laws differ dramatically. Some regions focus on how they're used, others ban their operation in vehicles, and some allow them under strict conditions. What makes this item feel forbidden is its purpose. It's not just passively receiving information, it's reacting to enforcement systems. That's why, even where ownership might be legal, carrying one powered on in the wrong place can instantly shift it from cool tech to very unwelcome attention from authorities. SOG Pentagon FX Dagger. The SOG Pentagon FX Dagger takes the word tactical seriously. It's a double-edged blade with a symmetrical spear point profile, textured handle, and a sheath system built for secure mounting. Everything about it looks like it belongs on a dedicated tactical belt, not a simple camping trip. Double edges are heavily regulated in many areas, which is why people often assume daggers like this are totally banned. But in reality, regulations can draw fine distinctions between ownership, carry, display, and transport. Collectors may legally keep such a dagger as a display piece, even where carrying it in public is not allowed. Still, the combination of dual edges, dedicated sheath, and tactical branding make it feel like a no-go item to anyone who has only ever seen basic kitchen knives and small folders. Emergency strobe lights. When people think tactical lights, they often picture blinding beams and intense strobe patterns used for disorientation. Emergency strobe lights ride that line between life-saving gear and misunderstood tool. These compact lights can flash intensely to attract attention during emergencies, signal distress, or alert others to a hazard. In the right context, on a trail, roadside, or emergency scene, they are invaluable. But their intense flashing patterns and resemblance to certain professional equipment can cause confusion. Some people assume any bright strobing light is heavily restricted, especially when mounted on vehicles or worn on gear. Regulations often focus on color, pattern, and where they're used, especially if they resemble official emergency service lighting. So while the device might be completely legal as a personal safety tool, using it in the wrong way or place can push it into a very different legal category. KARAMBIT claw folding knife. KARAMBIT-style folding knives, with their curved claw-like blades and finger ring, look far more intimidating than most straight-edged folders. The shape is inspired by traditional utility tools, but modern versions often lean into a tactical aesthetic. Black coatings, aggressive edges, and quick deployment mechanisms. People who only see them in martial arts videos or dramatic thumbnails often believe they're banned everywhere. In reality, laws typically focus on blade length, locking mechanisms, and carry method. The unique shape alone doesn't automatically make them forbidden. though some regions do specifically call out certain blade profiles. The KARAMBIT is a perfect example of how design can completely control perception. To a collector, it's art and engineering. To someone unfamiliar with knives, it can look like something that should never be allowed outside of a movie set. Camera Quick Release System. At first, a camera quick release system doesn't sound tactical at all. It's just a mechanism that lets you attach and detach gear from a belt, vest, or rig quickly. But look at how they're built. Reinforced plates, locking lugs, low-profile mounts, and compatibility with modular setups. They allow cameras, pouches, and equipment to snap in and out of place with a simple motion. In tactical environments, similar systems are used for mission-critical gear. This overlap in design makes people think anything that looks modular and quick detach must be for restricted use only. The system itself is harmless. It's just metal and engineering. Yet, when it's bolted to plate carriers, chest rigs, or load-bearing belts, it suddenly looks like specialized military hardware. It shows how even a camera accessory can feel banned, just because of the gear it sits next to. Flashlight stun device. Flashlight stun devices are among the most misunderstood items in the self-defense space. On the outside, they appear to be standard tactical flashlights. Textured grip, bright lens, maybe even a crenellated bezel. But hidden within the body is a conducted energy feature, typically activated by a separate switch. Some areas regulate or ban conducted energy devices entirely, while others allow them with conditions. People see the crackle, hear the electric pop, and immediately assume they must be illegal everywhere. In reality, laws are highly location-specific. What's consistent, though, is that these devices demand serious responsibility. Combining bright light with an energy feature blurs the line between simple illumination and advanced defensive tool, and that mix is exactly what makes them feel like something from an equipment locker rather than a drawer at home. Sting knife. The Sting-style knife is compact, often double-edged or symmetrical, and designed for quick access. It might ride in a small sheath on a belt, vest, or boot, with a handle size to tuck discreetly into the palm. Because of its compact, purpose-driven design, many people assume it's automatically forbidden by law. However, legal treatment usually depends on factors like edge count, blade length, and whether it's carried openly or concealed. In many places, it's not the knife's size that draws attention. It's where it's worn, and how easily it disappears under clothing. The Sting knife's small, focused design is what makes it stand out psychologically. It doesn't look like a camp tool or a work knife. It looks like a specialist's blade, and that alone makes most people think, there's no way this is allowed. Electric vacuum suction cup. This one surprises almost everyone. An electric vacuum suction cup sounds like a tool for construction or glass handling, and often that's exactly what it is. But in tactical contexts, similar devices can be used to grip and move heavy panels, stick to smooth surfaces, or anchor equipment where traditional mounts won't work. The motor creates negative pressure, forming a strong hold on glass, metal, or polished stone. Because of its potential in specialized operations, viewers sometimes assume anything this capable must be restricted. Yet it's often sold as a professional tool for workers who need to move large panes or materials safely. ALBATROSS 6-in-1 Survival Multi-Tool Knife. The Survival Multi-Tool Knife packs a surprising amount of function into one compact package. You might see a fold-out blade, glass breaker, seatbelt cutter, fire-starting feature, or small emergency tools integrated into a single frame. Because it's marketed as tactical and survival-ready, people often assume it's too serious to be allowed casually. Yet in reality, multi-tools like this are often treated no differently than other folding knives, provided they meet local size and carry rules. What makes it feel like it should be banned is how many capabilities are combined into one body. It's designed for emergencies, rough environments, and worst-case scenarios, which gives it a dramatic reputation. To someone who's only used a simple pocket knife, an all-in-one survival tool feels like overkill, with a legal status to match, even if that's not actually the case. Tactical blue flashlight. A tactical blue flashlight does something most regular flashlights don't. It changes how your surroundings look. Blue-tinted or filtered beams can help preserve certain types of visibility, enhance contrast, or interact differently with reflective materials. On the outside, the light might feature sharp angles, knurled surfaces, and rugged housings typical of tactical designs. Many viewers see the word tactical, pair it with unusual colored light, and assume it's meant only for official use. In reality, colored output flashlights are widely used in hunting, search operations, and hobbyist night activities. Regulations usually revolve around power levels and how they're used, not just the color of the beam. Still, when someone shines an intense blue light from a rugged aluminum tube, it looks far more specialized and banned than a mild household flashlight. Survival Life Tent. The Survival Life Tent doesn't look like traditional tactical gear, but it absolutely belongs in the same conversation. It's a compact emergency shelter, usually made from reflective or weather-resistant material, designed to pack down into a tiny bag and set up quickly when conditions turn bad. Because it's often marketed alongside survival knives, fire starters, and other rugged equipment, some people lump it into serious prepper gear mentally. In reality, there's nothing illegal or restricted about emergency shelters in most places. They're encouraged, but the way they're photographed, strung up in harsh environments, next to heavy gear and dramatic lighting, makes them feel like part of a kit that must be on some restricted list. This tent proves that not everything that looks tactical is even close to forbidden. Sometimes it's just smart preparation. MULTITOOL Pliers Pro. MULTITOOL pliers with a pro or tactical label pack an impressive amount of function into a single frame. Knives, drivers, wire cutters, saws, openers, and more. Folded up, they look like a solid metal block with textured scales. Opened, they become a full toolkit in the palm of your hand. Because some models include locking blades or more aggressive design elements, people often assume they're strictly regulated. Yet in many places, multi-tools are treated like everyday tools, subject to basic blade laws, but not inherently prohibited. Spartan Blades HARSEY Dagger. The Spartan Blades HARSEY Dagger looks exactly like what most people picture when they hear the word dagger. A long, symmetrical, double-edged blade, carefully machined, with a grip made for firm control. It has the presence of something you'd expect to see in a museum case or in the hands of a specialized unit, not on a regular display shelf. Double-edged blades are heavily regulated in many regions, and in some places this type of dagger is restricted to collectible status only. Yet that doesn't stop it from being produced and owned under certain conditions. This is the kind of item most viewers would absolutely bet is universally banned. Instead, its legal status is a complex mix of history, design, and local law. It's the perfect final reminder that what looks illegal and what actually is illegal are often two very different things. Folding brass knuckles. Folding brass knuckles have become a talked-about item online, not because they're trendy, but because of their unique design and long, controversial history. Originally created as compact self-defense tools, these foldable metal frames were built to fit easily in a pocket while packing a solid punch. Today, they're often seen more as collectible items or conversation pieces, rather than something to be used. These tactical items prove that what looks banned isn't always illegal, and what looks harmless can still be highly regulated, depending on where you live. The real key is awareness, responsibility, and understanding the rules around your gear. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and tell me which item shocked you the most. Stay informed, stay smart, and I'll see you in the next video.